Time now to check out Yamaha's all-new entry into the current power cruiser wars, the Roadstar Warrior. As you know, last summer the power cruiser battle heated up when Honda's big brute, the VTX, found itself taking on the Kawasaki Mean Streak and the Harley V-Rod. Then this spring, Yamaha threw its hat into the ring when it rolled out the Warrior. At the heart of this puppy is a hot-rodded, fuel-injected version of Yamaha's fairly traditional 1670cc air-cooled pushrod 48-degree V-twin engine. That power plant is then mated to an ultra-cool aluminum frame, tricked out with a 41mm inverted fork, R1 sourced brakes, and an aluminum swing arm. The entire package is then beautifully detailed with a Corbin-esque saddle and trick instrumentation. So how does it work? Well, we invited Dave Fox, a guy who last summer sampled both Honda's VTX and Kawasaki's Mean Streak, to sample Yamaha's newest soldier in the Power Wars.
Well, Dave, power cruiser time. The Warrior.
It definitely lives up to its name, Dave.
Yeah.
She's quite a machine. It's long and low. I certainly had no problem keeping my feet in the ground.
Yeah.
And talk about manipulate, it was really easy to handle. It really surprised me. When you stand back and look at it, you think you're in for a heavy beast. But once I got on it, I thought I was almost riding a sport bike.
Well, standing back and looking at it, I can certainly do that for some time. It is a beautiful piece, and of course the centerpiece of this rolling art is this motor, man. What did you think of this, over 1600 cc's?
That's right. Great sound to it. With that big pipe for an exhaust, it gives a nice throaty sound to it. Lots of power. What I was really surprised at were the low revs. Really nice low revs to it, and as soon as you crank it on, there's lots there for you, and lots of takeoff.
Speaking of staring at the bike, the other thing is the front end. It's very different. It's very power cruiser. Looks almost like a Sirianni fork with the dual discs. And man, it sort of changes the whole handling, right? It's very quick steering.
It sure is, and that's all part of the feel. When I first got on it, expecting to be a bit of a heavy tank, and it certainly isn't. Good and light. I didn't feel unsafe in that fashion. It just really turned lightly, and I could do U-turns very easily. Didn't feel the least bit out of control or overpowered by it.
Now, we've been chatting here for a few minutes, and you haven't mentioned this huge exhaust canister. Back at the bike show in January, we heard all kinds of comments about that. Either you loved it or you hated it. You actually like it.
Well, I do. I really like the Honda VTX as well, which I rode last year, and I guess I found this particular pipe didn't strike me as being as drastic. It just seems to fit in well with maybe this look of the bike. So when you stand at the back, I love that wide, fat tire and the big cannon aiming at you, and the sound that comes out of it is great. A nice throaty sound. Not overpowering, you can still hear yourself think, but it's definitely a nice sound to it.
The other thing that we do with power cruisers is we kind of compromise the comfort zone. They've put a nice sort of Corbin-esque seat here, quite wide, forward foot positions, wide bars, but not too bad in terms of the comfort?
Not bad. It won't be, for me being 5'6", it'll be a short ride for me before I have to get off. For someone, a friend of mine rode it today, and he's longer-legged and longer-armed, and he felt it would really fit him well. In my case, I would have to get off after an hour because the pegs and the arms are just a little far apart.
To my mind, I think the Yamaha engineers have really hit a home run. I love all the matte black against the chrome. It looks as close to a customized power cruiser as you can get without going and asking somebody to build one for you. It's hard to believe this came off an assembly line.
That's right, and you mentioned the matte black. The surprising thing too, where it's lost all its weight, is the fact of the aluminum frame. Unless you read about it and knew about that, you would think it's a steel frame when you see the black paint. And of course, that's where it gets its lightness from.
Now, the big thing about power cruisers, obviously you need the power, you need the brakes, but the other thing is you need the looks. What did you think of the fit and finish?
Great fit and finish. Love the chrome. I'm a chrome fan. Love the low tank, just the way it squats on the ground. It looks like it's an animal ready to leap forward. And that's all part of the theme, I think, and where the name comes from. And being a warrior is ready to take off, for sure.
So a little bit of custom, a little bit of sport, and a whole lot of attitude.
That's right, and definitely an eye-turner. When people see this baby, they do take a look.
Well, thanks, Dave. Thanks for coming along today.
Thank you.